And we're back to learning JavaScript on Exercism, and this time I'm going to solve this exercise, perfect numbers. Explained in simple terms, we are given a number and then we categorize them in 3 groups: perfect, abundant, deficient. The rules are we're going to divide them, and whenever the division leaves a remainder of 0, we're going to add this to our sum. So for example, 6 is 1, 2, 3. Keep in mind that 6 is divisible by 6 with a remainder of 0. But this number is not added. If, for example, 8, 1, 2, and 4 is added, 3, for example, would leave us a remainder of 2, therefore it is not part of the sum. Let us go over the code and it becomes a little bit clearer. Let me check the tests. The first 2 are already the errors, so when it is 0 or -1, classification is only possible for natural numbers, so I'll copy this because we want to throw this error whenever we've got a number that is smaller or equal to 0. So we'll define an if statement, and the condition is for our number to be smaller or equal to 0, and then we'll throw our error. And this should already help us pass the first 2 tests. And obviously you have to add the number right here in our function, which is given called classify. And if I run it, hopefully I haven't made typos. You can see we've passed test 1 and 2. So that's the first part. Now let's get back to our real classification here. So when the number is bigger than 0, at first I've defined a variable, let me call it adequate sum. And then I've used a for loop. Let us add the basic outline first. And what we want to do inside is always use our adequate sum and then add our counter I to it. But we only do so under certain conditions. Let us check. So as I've already said, for 6, we've got 1, 2, 3, but not the 6 itself. So we always start with a counter of 1, but it is always smaller than our number. So in this case, the 6 isn't added to the sum. Therefore, our counter must stop at 5. And now we've got our counter set up the right way. Not all counters are added. Let's check, for example, number 8 for deficient. We've got 1, 2, and then 4 directly, so 3 should not be added. And right now 3 would be added. So we'll have to use another if statement here to filter out the ones that we don't want. And inside we only add the counter to our adequate sum if our counter meets a certain requirement. And this is number remainder I equals 0. So 1, 2, and 4 fit this description for 8. So 8 divided by 4 would leave a remainder of 0. But 8 divided by 3 would be 2 times 3 with a rest of 2. Therefore the remainder is not 0. And this filters out the 3. Same goes for 5. 8 divided by 5 would be 1 times 5 with 3 as a rest. Therefore this also filtered out, and so forth. And now we only have to use our categories here for the classification. So in the end we'll return the adequate sum if it is equal to number right here. This is the first case. And if this is true, we will return perfect right here. Second case, adequate sum is bigger than number. And if this is the case, we will return abundant. And our third case is adequate sum smaller than number, then we'll return deficient. We can make this code line even shorter, because the last case is basically the default case when the other two cases aren't true. So we can get rid of this part and make deficient the default case if abundant and perfect are false. And now we should be good here. And there you go, we've passed them all. So this is how you can solve perfect numbers using JavaScript on Exercism. I hope this video was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.